baby squirrel use a sexy motherfucker.
Conqueror is a tier 9 British heavy tank characterised by its insane gun, mediocre hull armour, mediocre mobility and very strong turret. This tank can be very good at all ranges. Up close, as long as it's hull down, it is extremely strong, and at long range its insane gun dispersion values make it an absolute beast at range as well. Thanks to this, it makes it one of the most flexible heavy tanks at tier 9. And because of this as well, along with a very fun 32 pounder, it is probably one of the best at tier 9. But to understand what makes this tank tick, let's go into the stats. So the tank's biggest strong point is its gun. It has 256mm of standard penetration, 326mm of APCR penetration and 120mm of HE penetration. It's also characterised with a 0.32 dispersion value with amazing dispersion values while on the move and a 1.82 second aim time. In terms of armour, this tank's turret is very strong outside of the mid cupola, which is pretty hard to hit. Now for the hull armour, the mid plate is pretty strong along with the upper hull, but the lower plate is pretty weak and rather large, so do your best to cover that up if you can. Now one of the more mediocre parts of the tank is this tank's mobility. It's got 34 km/h top speed limit and 12 km/h reverse speed limit, but it's got a 14 power to weight ratio to get it there, so it will be fairly reliable at getting to its top speed. With terrain resistances which don't really hinder it too much. But one of the big strong points of the tank is its gun depression of 10 degrees over most of the tank outside of the rear. This allows it the flexibility to get hull down in more positions and just generally gives it more chance to get shots off. Now in game the tank is very strong. Side scraping is a viable play strategy, and the gun is just awesome when it comes to snapshotting and getting the shots in on targets, weak points when you need it most. Plus the cupola on the turret is really hard to hit, so as long as you hold down you're going to be very hard to penetrate for the enemy team. Another thing to add is just how punishing the gun is. It is just so punishing. It will penetrate most shots, and if you decide to switch to premium rounds, you're going to penetrate every shot you fire near enough. And with awesome HE shells, when you get to the lighter armor tanks, you're going to be able to dish out some real damage very fast in this tank. So is the tank any good? I definitely feel it is one of the best tanks at tier 9. I do feel like in terms of its heavy tank competition, the E75 and ML2 are probably its closest competition. And then elsewhere I think of tanks like the EBR90, the Skoda T50, tanks that really push the tank to its limits. I also do think this tank requires a bit more skill than your average player to play well regularly, due to the fact you have to be hull down quite a lot, and the fact that the gun's DPM is not the best, unless you decide to use the 32 pounder, in which case you can get that DPM up to about 3,700, which is pretty ridiculous in my opinion. Right, I just want to take a moment at the end of the video to say thank you for coming to check out my dumbass channel. I want to do some more of these little short reviews of tanks, as I feel some of the reviews can be a little bit long, a little bit wordy, not really get to the actual point. So I thought I'd do these short reviews in under 5 minutes usually, if I can get them under that. So yeah, thank you for coming to check out the channel. I hope you do decide to stick around, and yeah, see you in the next one.